This is Talk Business and Politics with Roby Brock.
Welcome to today's Talk Business and Politics. I'm Roby Brock, joined by John Brummett of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Always good to start the week off with you.
Same.
How was your Thanksgiving? Did you have a good
Lovely.
one?
Do you know that I had a lot of food and watched a lot of football?
Really?
What did you do?
I had food.
Did you watch
I
some football?
watched some football, yeah.
You know, this college football person I live with said, how many, was saying, aren't these all running together? You seem to enjoy all these games. And I said, no. And the game last night, a player cost his team victory by simulating dog urination. And this one here, a guy from Arkansas just outsmarted Nick Saban with a tactic at the end. And down in Louisiana, this quarterback from the Midwest at LSU named Burrow has come out in a jersey with EAUX. And I said, these are real human dramas. You can't get this. You can't get this on all of Netflix. Real life human drama.
You left out the Arkansas-Missouri game, John.
I did leave that out.
What about the highlights of all that?
There was no drama associated with that.
But there was. They fired their coach after he beat us.
Yeah, he didn't win by enough. Yeah, like LSU beat Arkansas by 36 points and dropped in the polls.
And I think Alabama beat us and dropped in the polls too. So
it's not,
don't say that Arkansas is not influential.
Very influential.
In changing things.
So
in the
that and
college football scene.
The turkey's about gone. The dressing I think is gone. So it's sad this morning. And there was no paper on the porch, by the way.
Oh, and let's talk about that.
Oh, good.
No paper on the porch. Yeah.
Yes,
you know, I had a big interview with Walter Hussman and his daughter Eliza.
Yes, it was well done.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And of course, just the whole, I think the news out of that interview was that it's been a pretty successful iPad conversion and even subscription gains in some parts of Pulaski County. Were you surprised by that?
Yeah. I thought if you tell people you're not going to get the paper anymore and you're going to have to get this iPad or go online and pay as much as you're paying now and just access it online, I thought there would be some drop-off. And there has been. But in the Heights down, I think through Hillcrest, I call it Heights down through Midtown, he told you 102, it's now 103%. They have more re-ups than they had ups. I don't know where these new people are coming from, but that's a very civic-minded, pretty well-to-do section of town. And I think that's a factor in it. But it's sort of the heart of the city, and it shows the allegiance to the paper. So it's a remarkable thing. Statewide, he said from the beginning he needed 70% re-up to make the business model work. I heard it was like at 72, 80 in Southwest Little Rock, I think. And it's been just a remarkable story in converting this readership to this entirely new delivery system with incredible customer service. Shayla and I went to get a lesson. She gets the iPad. I'm just going to keep reading it on the phone like I do. But what a setup they had out at the Hilton Garden Inn in West Little Rock.
Describe that for people that haven't had that experience. I haven't gone through it. I have the app iPad already. But if
you sign the thing that you want to keep the subscription, as most people have, and if you say, yes, I want an iPad and a tutorial, then they call you and they say, here's the day we're going to be at such and such, and we'd like to make you an appointment. We got 3:30, 4 available. And they set up in a conference room with a bunch of desks and a bunch of very nice young people. And all day, people come in for their appointments. They have I'd say there were 15, 16, 20 stations around. And they sit you down and they say, it's basic. Here's your iPad. Here's how you turn it on. Look here. And they show people how it works.
Here's how you connect to the Wi-Fi.
Right.
Which would be the first thing.
We hope you have. And they've been doing this for 2 years, starting in the outskirts. I think starting in Blytheville nearly 2 years ago, drawing it in. And this week, last week, today was the day our neighborhood didn't get a paper. But I think by the end of this week, every neighborhood in the city. And there'll be some more tutorials this week. But it's just a wild customer service. And I was interested when Hussman said to you that a key to this has been that customer service in the modern time is so bad. And it is. I mean, I don't know about you, but I will pay more than I should and have services that aren't working from a company, let's say from a company, just because I don't want to wade through, you know, the telephonic customer service.
You'll pay more for better customer service, is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, and I appreciate it. And personal service is somebody to talk to. So it's been quite a success. Now, whether it works in the long term, whether people continue to do this, whether this will eventually wean people from the newspaper, gosh, I hope not. But so far, it's been a success. And the Democrat-Gazette right now has flush revenue, I guess, nearly, based on what it had before, but it doesn't have to distribute the paper, it doesn't have to run the press.
It still does one day.
One day.
Still
But
gets
I mean,
Sunday.
yeah, I mean, 6 days is, 1 day is cheaper than 7 days. So, great. It's a way to save traditional, professionally compiled journalistic products, and I think it's just a great story so far, and good for him, good for us, and good for me.
It's not changed the way you work, right? You still got to put out your 4 columns a week.
Yeah, I thought it was going to change because, to this extent, I'm notorious for changing my columns as long as they let me. You know from having worked with me on magazine pieces.
I don't read the first 3 drafts that come into my inbox. I wait.
Let me take another shot at this.
Yes.
I'm you know, columns on an average, I send 3 or 4 before I quit. And I only quit because it's too late to quit. And with press, and with an advanced page like Voices, there's a time in the afternoon when it's over, or that evening when it's over, you can't change it. But with digital, I said, can I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning if I can't sleep and see something I want to change and still change it? No, we still apply those deadlines. So I thought it would change, and I think that's a reform that over time they could implement. In fact, I think I could continue to change it even after it's been published.
That's what I was about to say.
Just keep changing it, because there's always a little tinkering to do, you know? So that's the story there. Customer service and an allegiance to a statewide news product, and so far, great.
We'll see if they launch it in other markets. That was kind of where we left the conversation there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, he sort of, Eliza's moving in more to the management role, he said, Walter Hussman, but I've been working on this conversion, and now we're going to be looking at it elsewhere. He owns, well, the Northwest Arkansas customers are not affected as yet by this. They're still getting a paper product. You've got the smaller town dailies in South Arkansas, Chattanooga. Maybe, I'm not saying that that's what he's going to do, but that was an interesting thing that he said.
I thought so too.
And if it works here, might it work there? I think Arkansas is a little bit weird and a little bit a sense of a statewide community more than other places, and it had a better chance of working here. But anyway, we'll see.
What you got coming up column-wise? Give us a preview of at least one in the can.
Well, tomorrow, do you remember we sat here, I'd say, it was 75 days ago, and we talked about Senator Jim Hendren had proposed sort of an anti-vaping legislation for a special session, and he's the governor's nephew. And
there's going to be a study committee to try to build some support for it. I think
there
Senator
was.
Missy Irvin was.
She was involved. She's head
of
of public health. It was going to subject vaping basically to the same restrictions as tobacco, and a level of taxation similar to tobacco. I think you said you think it's going to happen, and I think it. And I said it might, and you said, to your credit, I don't think so. And it turns out I'm sort of catching up on that. It's not obviously going to happen. It's too close to an election. Republican legislators are averse to raising taxes anytime, certainly now. But there are a couple other factors that even made it less possible for it to happen. One of which is that the governor said, if we're going to have a special session, I'm going to include in the agenda a hate crimes bill. He doesn't want Arkansas. He hates Arkansas being conspicuous and looking backwards. And Arkansas is one of only 4 states without one. He was insisting on that, and that upset the Family Council and religious evangelical conservatives who worry about some element of that I'll explain. And then Trump. You never can count on Trump. 75 days ago, the Trump administration, you know what they were going to do?
They were going to
outlaw
those
flavored e-cigarettes and
right.
protect the children.
Yes.
Now, the the vaping industry paid for a poll of vapors in battleground states. And they would not like it if their president did that. And so now the president has tucked tail on that. So
he doesn't have a lot of margin for error with his constituencies, does he?
No, he won, somebody said there are like 120,000 or thereabouts confirmed vaping people in those 3 states, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. He won those 3 states by a combination of 70,000. He can't offend very many vapors who voted for him and get reelected. And as you know, that's the most important thing. Mm. That's the most important thing. So that's, I've just told you tomorrow's column, but there are some choice phrases.
There's so much that you left out of it that I don't know.
There's
I'll
nuance,
have to read it.
Nuance and subtlety, so look for that.
All right.
All right.
As we sign off here, you got any thoughts on who you want to be the next Arkansas football coach?
You know,
I want you to get all hyped up about this new coach. I want you to put yourself in the shoes of what you call a hogaholic, mm-hmm. and I want you to see if you can empathize.
Roby, there's
not just sympathize.
I understand, particularly in the Southern culture, the fan obsession. I do. I mean, I watched that Auburn-Alabama game, and I could understand what was going on. There's real drama, and there was even drama for a few less stakes down in Mississippi with that Egg Bowl and how much LSU's success.
So you think Nick Saban may be available? Is what you're saying?
No. I'm just saying. Even though I try to modulate my obsession, I understand that people are really interested in it. But what I saw yesterday on social media, tracking airplanes. Some guy said he had just been in the bathroom in Fayetteville with Lane Kiffin. He put on, I don't think so, but maybe it's somebody that looked like Lane Kiffin. Some other fellow said, my wife works down at the athletic complex. She left her computer. She went down to get it. They wouldn't let her in because high priority privacy right now. Really? And the coach is in Fayetteville, and it will be done in the morning. They say, maybe all that's true.
Doesn't that sound like Saban is getting the boot at Alabama and coming to Arkansas? I mean, he didn't take them to the promised land this year. Come on.
And in fact, he's lost 3 games in a calendar year. Oh. And in fact, a guy from Fort Smith, Arkansas, outsmarted him on national television. Well, didn't outsmart him, just pulled a fast one on him. Anyway, I'm just saying this.
Brummett says Saban next coach.
No, there is some, I don't want to speculate. I really don't care. It's going to, I mean, in a way, other than as a social study or a cultural study. But I suspect this, I'm not even going to speculate. Lane Kiffin seems to be the thing we're talking about right now. And he,
it can be different by the end of the day.
I remember when his dad was the defensive coordinator for Lou Holtz during a 40-5, 3 years when they went 40-5, and was Monty Kiffin. And Lane Kiffin was a kid growing up in Fayetteville during those days. And he's got experience at Tennessee. He's got experience at Alabama. Remember when he was Saban's offensive coordinator getting screamed at by Saban on the side? That's good experience. Coached at USC successfully. Coached the Oakland Raiders when they were the Oakland Raiders. So he's a possibility. But, you know, it's just this. Once the last game is played, the people have to have something to obsess on, and this is a hogaholic bench.
Well, I want you to think about this.
Yes.
The 2020 Razorback football team is undefeated right now.
They are.
Go Hogs.
And whoever is hired as the new coach will remain until next fall the only undefeated coach in the history of Razorback football. You remember, I used to call Chad Morris that. He's the only undefeated coach.
I think Frank Broyles went undefeated one year.
I mean for his career.
Oh, I got you.
For his career.
Gotcha.
This guy who they hire will never have lost as a Razorback coach. And you can say that of no one else.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. All right.
He is the John Brummett with the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Good to be with you.
Good to be with you. Good talk.
That's all for today's program. I'm Roby Brock. We'll see you next time.
You'll find us at the end of a lot of long country roads, covering over 60% of the great state of Arkansas. Our 17 electric distribution cooperatives are working day and night to provide reliable, affordable power to over 500,000 homes, farms, and businesses, just like yours. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, your local energy partners.
Each day, the promise of our nation begins again. Arkansas and America moving forward. I help make that promise a reality. It's not for everyone, but people everywhere depend on us.
Oh, I love you too, sweetie.
Trucking delivers, or everything stops. And that's what drives me.